prioritize the Magnus. Well, no, we were seeing it banned out last time. The Magnus and Raid King up against MG Trust. So it's been on an upturn for a few teams here and there. It does give you some really good control, really good team fight, of course, for Neon's end. The question is who plays it. Like, it could still be Apaj. It could just be Natsumi. We have seen Natsumi play it a couple of times before. Maybe not in Neon, but when he was on the teams, specifically, say, Droid. So he's got the option there if he wants it. A bit worried if it is a support Tiny. Just
yeah,
it just really feels lackluster. Playhard could put the work in though. Like that could still be great, but Tiny Broodmother as a lane is just not something we see too often. And boom, they just go back to the TA. It worked last time. Yeah, it still is. But you can rip through the Tiny if it is a Tiny mid. You can still bully out a Magnus mid as well. Kind of win out either matchup there as a TA. You will have to watch out for the Tiny. Can burn through your refraction with Avalanche. But beyond that, you're ranged here. You have good minus armor. Tiny does not have a lot of base armor at all. So you can really just use those initial waves to keep shoving out and make it hard for the Tiny to find even that initial EXP and farm.
Absolutely. Final ban stage to come before we get to see the last pickups. OB.Neon, I mean, do you predict they're just looking for another POS 1 here? Like, maybe just run the Magnus mid, you know, run something else in the POS 1 role. Do you think this last pick is for Natsumi here for OB.Neon? Take a wild guess.
Probably is. I think you'd want something like Natsumi's PA. You'd want maybe Natsumi's, could be possibly a Raid King coming through as well. A lot of options for them to go in the safe lane combo with a Magnus. I think with just Magnus Brood, you can afford to be more aggressive on your Magnus anyway. As long as you have a Blink Echo Saber, you're good to go. You run around with the Brood. Empower is really good in your Brood. And you get value if you manage to give Natsumi that something that builds up off of that as well. Boom. Do go into the Ursa though. And this is going to be a bit of a nuisance. We've seen the Ursa be a bit of back and forth. It is still really hard here to hammer in. It's great here to kind of zone out the Brood as well. But at the same time, the Broodmother's missed chance from Insatiable Hunger can make it hard for the Ursa to just sit back and get hits off. So it's a back and forth lane. We'll see how much Dreamo Cell can get out. I think this is manageable for CTM. Should still be able to get something out as a Brood there. Now we've just got to see what Neon plans with a mag. Mid or safe. This last pick should define that. I'm guessing they're just looking for a comfort pick for Natsumi. Like PA mag sounds pretty good here, just because it's one of those combos that Filipino teams just love to go back to. Even if it's out of meta, they always love to run it if they can. I think Neon's just deliberating whether they can get away with that one.
Reminds me a lot of that Team Adroit. I feel like Team Adroit, they used to run that non-stop, the Magnus PA, and it used to be a bit of fun to watch for sure. OB.Neon, maybe they'll go down that route. We'll find out very soon. Bringing it back to the Ursa though, John, do you think Dreamer Cell maybe goes for the Battle Fury build-up this time? Against the Broodmother, maybe? It's a good way to get rid of the Spiderlings, or... I suppose you could still rely on the Grimstroke and Makoto and even FBZ on the Darkseer to kind of do that work for you, and you can still go down the Diffusal Blade route if you really want. What are you thinking? Do you think Dreamer Cell will bother for the greedy route?
You could. If you're worried about the enemy core getting too much with Magnus and power, then you'd want to keep up. The moment you don't find kills with your Diffusal, catching up in farms can be tricky. You've got enough, just a Grimstroke and the Darkseer to handle that. Okay. All right.
I love it.
Go with it. Wind Ranger comes out. They always do this when a game's like make or break for them. When they're about to be, upper bracket to lower bracket, they go back to Upaj Wind Ranger, and we'll see what it does. Natsumi and the Magnus. Upaj Wind Ranger up against Mikato TA. That one kind of balances out for the Wind Ranger. Your Wind Run allows you to dodge some of those hits. You can manage the lane a bit better. And you don't have the best synergy with Empower for the Wind Ranger, but you have it with the Broodmother still. That could still be potent, and yeah, it's lining up interestingly. Johnny Will is on the Tiny, so play hard's on the line for Tiny 5. We'll see if Johnny Will can get that timing on his blink and items up. Very sensitive for a Tiny, no matter what position he's on.
Okay, fair enough. John, I'll ask you the hard question before we do go into game number 2. Can OB.Neon force this to a game 3 with this draft, or do you have more faith in Boom Esports to be able to get the 2-0 victory here?
I would say I like Boom's draft.
Okay.
I think they've got the answers, much more straightforward answers for the Broodmother. Like with the Grimstroke and the Darkseer now, it's really easy to just lock them in. We saw Hyde do a great job on the Nyx Assassin 4. He's back on it. Very, very potent Nyx player. And Dreamocell, this is a much better hero to just sit back and farm on compared to the Wraith King. So we've just got to see if he opts for the Diffusal or goes for the Battlefield. I think seeing the safe lane Mag, you probably just want to go for Diffusal. I don't think you need to keep up with a Magnus with a Battle Fury. In that case, your only worry was Magnus plus one more hero out farming. Really, really big. And you don't really have that. Like a Broodmother with Empower, sure, farms faster slightly, but Broodmother already farms fast. You don't need to respond to that with a Battle Fury, which stalls out your timings. So you can still afford to play fast here for Dreamocell. And for the side of Neon, a lot of things have to go right. Natsumi needs Blink, Echo Saber timing with Phase Boot or Power Treads, and then go into mainly Daedalus or AC. That's what you'd see for the safe lane Mag. And try to build up there. It takes a lot of farm to get Magnus 1 up and running. So Neon's going to have to play slower from their pause. 1. Yapaj and CTM will have to pick up that pace. And that just makes it a bit harder to execute, whereas Boom, they can just run down you. They hit level 6, they get 1 or 2 mid-game items they can run in. And this is a good shake-up from Neon. They were very quiet in game 1. They weren't spamming their voice lines, neither was Boom. I was a bit surprised that we weren't hearing the da 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 from Januel. He loves that line. He loves his own voice. I can't fault him.
Why the hell not? By the way, John, while we are in a pause, shout out to all the viewers that have kind of joined in to tune into some SCA before the Animajor does begin. Lovely to have you all here, and hopefully you're enjoying one of the better regions in the world, I would argue. The best region, in fact.
Oh, yeah.
By the way, John, I've been meaning to ask you, because it does appear to be popping up a lot in the chat. Are those new glasses you're wearing?
Oh, they are.
They are?
Like, I've had them since, I think, midway through DPC Season 2. I think I've had them since then. Because my last glasses, what happened was the screw broke off. So I had to tape those glasses. If you look at one of the VODs from NA, I think, you can see my glasses are taped closed in week 1, I believe. So they were actually taped on. These are new. These were like, gosh, they were like 6 years old now. I think really ancient. My glasses grades went up. You know, if you were a parent, I'm like, hey, Mom, Dad, my grades went up. Oh, really? What subject? My eye grades. Way up.
Well
I think
done.
I'm at like 8. I'm at 8. I'm actually blind without these glasses, Mike. I can't see at night.
Fair enough. Here you had your little Harry Potter moment there as well, John, with the tape glasses. Very good. No invite to Hogwarts, though, I'm guessing, for you.
Nah. No, I'm just a muggle, Mike. Poor old muggle.
Don't say that, John. That's a very... Oh, no, that's not the bad word, actually. The other... What do we care anyway? It's a damn story. Who gives a crap? Let's move on to the game, John. OB.Neon versus Boom Esports.
Just 30 seconds.
So you think Boom Esports has the better draft, but I was having a look at the loot bet odds, and OB.Neon, they are still favored in this game too, so let's see if the odds do prove to be correct. Boom, I tend to agree with you. With this draft they do have, it does kind of tick all the boxes, unless Dreamocell walks up like that. He placed the flag down and he's going to get punished for it. Januel, he took the flag and shoved it right up his backside. Oh, what's he done? You know why he's done? You know why he's put that line there, John? Because his team's not very happy with him right now. As now another's been caught out. Kescute, he was busy telling off Dreamocell, like, what the hell were you doing? And now he's dead as well.
Oh no!
He's all right for now. Januel, no, he's gonna get him.
Worth it.
Januel, he's gonna die, but it won't matter. Makoto, he at least got a lot of XP for that. He's halfway to level 2. But that is well and truly a blunder from Dreamocell.
Oh yeah. Not a happy start for Boom. Of course, we're gonna have to see how that shapes up down the line. The mid matchup again, Yapaj versus Mikoto. should still be okay for Mikado. You can block off a lot of harassment from Yopaj with your refraction. Yopaj has no way of melting that unless he just commits to right clicks. So he's gonna have to make those choices. But for Yopaj, he doesn't have to worry about side blades too much. He's got the wind run once he gets it leveled, and once you get enough, like level 3 to go 1-1-1, you can threaten with a shackle shot as well. So it's a back and forth lane, a bit more active, but should definitely be slightly easier for Mikado, and just gonna have to watch for rune control down the line.
Oh, still just getting over that flag thing. Play hard. He's gonna get chased down a little bit, but he'll be alright. CTM, of course, on the Broodmother up against Dreamercell, and you've got Keskute there now. CTM, once he hits that level 6 mark, we did talk about this a lot during the draft, but you've got to be very careful about the Stroke of Fate, because even just having 2 or 3 sets of Spiderlings nearby, it does really start to stack up with that Stroke of Fate, especially if Keskute does decide to max it out. And again, you just have to be very cautious about the way you micro those Spiderlings. And well, even then, for poor CTM, he's also got to worry about the Darkseer Iron Shell, which we saw last game. Does make it very hard to micro the Spiderlings without feeding most of them away.
Yeah, it's just really difficult for the Brood up against a draft of Boom. They just need to understand what to do against it. For now, CTM's holding his lane steady. Dreamercell's not doing too well left alone like this.
Yeah. Keskute, chased down here by Playhard. Playhard should be able to get a fair bit of damage off, but Keskute eventually going to get to that tier 1 and be alright. We'll have a quick look at the last lane, which is going to be the bot lane, where FBZ is going to get chased right into Natsumi. The toss back into the skewer, but FBZ was very lucky that his creep wave was around. He will not take any tier 1 tower damage. Had that creep wave not been there, though, that probably would have been a guaranteed kill.
Yeah, it's just the aggression coming out from Neon, and that's what we need to see with this kind of draft. They need to get around with these wacky combinations they've got, with the repositioning they've got on hand, and try to get as much possible early to counteract that early power spikes Boom will naturally have from items and level. So far, they're holding steady 2-1. Less than 1k lead still on Boom, though. Finding a bit more farm in the area.
Oh, Inkswell is going to pop in time. Dreamercell now can have his way with Playhard, but CTM is going to try and chase him down with the insatiable hunger, but the Stroke of Fate slow is going to be enough. In fact, Dreamercell, he wants to play a few games with the Spider, and it does pay off. No bug spray necessary here for Dreamercell. He just squashes CTM. It'll be a double kill for Dreamercell on the Ursa. A very good start.
Yeah, it helps him bounce back after feeding up First Blood, so I think his team's definitely happy that it's starting to progress along nicely up top. Slightly behind in CS compared to a Magnus, but that's sort of to be expected. Natsumi just has an easier time clearing out these waves. There's a bit of a clump up for these runes, though.
There is. Nice avalanche toss from Januel. Yopaj, he does have shackles. He's looking for the angle, but he can't find it. In fact, now the Impale's out, and Makoto can have his way with the Wind Ranger, and does. Januel, he's going to try and go for a run. Looks like he probably will make it out, but Makoto is going to make it a bit of a painful run.
It's a nice kill coming out. Boom, again, just on point with the movement. They still have a top water rune to go for anyway. So Mikado still gets topped up, and he's to pop off in that TA. Level 5.5. Once he hits 6, he can keep up more vision around those rune spots, watch the movement out. It's harder and harder to burn through the refraction for Yopaj, and Mikado's just hitting a bit too hard to handle.
Oh, Inkswell down at the top side. Keskute not going to be able to land it on Playhard, but it won't matter. Or maybe it will, as he's going to try for the TP out. And he will make it. Inkswell so darn close. Still a very close game. Boom Esports still in the lead, just barely. The one real saving grace right now for OB.Neon is Natsumi. He's basically just free farming. There's not really much in the way of contesting Natsumi at the moment. It could be quite detrimental later on for sure.
Yopaj?
I didn't catch that one, John. What happened there?
He was just in front up against those two heroes. It's just Mikado and Hyde again, constantly camping that mid. Yopaj is just not safe. He doesn't have many tools to save himself beyond Wind Run. Mikado's at level 6 now. Once you get an initial stun on that Wind Ranger, as long as you're not shackled up, there's not much Yopaj can do. And they've been very disciplined on Boom to maintain that spacing, to not give the angles away. And Yopaj is just not able to do much. He's just sitting here, kind of power shotting the creep wave, trying to get farm. But this kind of slower start for OB.Neon is going to hurt them a bit. You know, you still need that build-up time on your Brood Mother. CTM's almost at 6, around 5.5. Maybe you can make something with that power spike, but look at Boom, they just keep moving up.
CTM going to be targeted. Inkswell is going to be in range, but the Impel will not. Like CTM, cheeky there with the Silken Bowler. But he knows they have no way to lock him down now. Just get back to work. So Dream Assault's doing a good job of zoning him out of this Broodmother and not allowing the level 6s. Mid lane, Makoto, he's gone way too deep. There are flanks there. Yopaj with the shackle setup will be able to finish him off with the power shot. Makoto, obviously, he's had a very good game 1 and a great start to game 2, but he's got to be careful not to get overly confident. Can still turn around with this Wind Ranger.
It's, you overstep. As long as the shackle comes true, that's the condition for Yopaj to be able to get those trades. So, don't want to be standing by the tree line. You want to watch your position relative to the creeps as well. And that is a pretty nice kill for Neon to find. I think for the side of Boom, you know, you're still ahead here on Mikato, while having a decent spike on that TA. You worry about Natsumi. I think this farm Magnus can be a bit scary. You can see Natsumi opting for the power treads into Mask of Madness build-up. So he's going to be able to fight early if he wants to. He's going to be able to flash farm real fast if he wants to as well. That's just kind of scary.
Impel off the mark. Natsumi, though, going to get hit by the Spike Carapace, but goes for the RP. However, he has no mana skewer back, but it won't matter. They have the follow-up, and with that carry Magnus, you just RP whoever you can early on. Just secure a kill. There's no need for you to hold out. Definitely a nice setup there from Natsumi, but now Dream Assault, top side, is going to be chased down. They've got the Inkswell there to try and help out. In fact, Natsumi, or rather Dream Assault, is going to try and turn around. Stroke of Fate does connect on CTM to boot. Boss back. And Yuel trying to get away from Keskun and Hyde. Does cop the Impale in the end, but can they finish him off? Well, now with Makoto here, they definitely can. The TA will just go for the one-shot.
It's a nice steady pickup for Mikato while clearing out the jungle. This is the signal for Dream Assault to leave lane though. With CTM at 6, Arcane Boots up to sustain the spam with the spawn Spiderlings, especially once the Soul Ring's up. They're going to look to push that top tower, and this is the time where Boom might consider a shove-in bot.
FBZ. Focus fire out. Yopaj is going to chase him down, but FBZ, he had his surge going, but not so much anymore. He'll get the wall down, but it is not going to do much. Yopaj will eventually be able to get the kill with that Javelin pickup.
But I'm worth so much more.
Radiant should look to their middle tower.
Just TP back into the mid lane as well and start dealing with that creep wave. No rush for Neon. They're going to need some more farm up, and looks like Boom Esports, they're kind of on the same side of things, right? Like Makoto, no rush either. He wants to go after that Desolator ASAP, maybe even the Blink Dagger first.
Yeah. Just
oh,
the
Dragonlance.
build up for the TA. Yeah, typical Dragonlance into Desu build up that we tend to see nowadays, especially in Mikato. Looking at Dreamosel, he is opting for the defusal. He understands that it's a Magnus, it's a Brood. They're always going to find that farm. You just want to hit your spikes and not get shut out from the map. But once this defusal's up, the Ursa can run you down as well. Neon are getting some good space to shove out the top lane. You're not seeing that coming out from Boom on the bot lane. Not going to be able to trade tier 1 for tier 1 just yet. And that should give OB.Neon more spaces to farm up top, start getting webs further into that jungle, steal out some of these camps, prevent stacks from being built up for Boom, and isolate them to just their triangle. That's going to be a very tight spot for a TA and an Ursa to find some stable farm in. And while all that happens, Natsumi's just free farming. So you're basically getting everything you'd want here on Neon, despite being slightly behind in that word. You just kind of trust that your investment on this Magnus will eventually pay off.
Hyde, he kind of reveals himself. Tries to snipe the courier, but didn't quite have enough damage. Natsumi is just again freely farming up this Magnus. Already has the Mask of Madness going into the Echo Saber. Dreamer Cell's going to be around now to try and get his own farm up and down to this bot lane, but I don't think we'll really see Natsumi move. Just feels like he doesn't need to. He's even got the RP up in case he wants to try and set up onto Dreamer Cell. You've got help coming in as well. Genuine going to show up on the Tiny. Pings are out. They'd love to have a chance at the Ursa. I suppose if you can kind of pump fake the Enrage, or force him to use the Enrage, then you could almost guarantee the kill on the Ursa with the Avalanche Toss plus the RP. Or they could even just try to hide if they really want, but they can't see him at the moment. Now they can. There's your RP out, but the Spike Carapace was there in time. It just won't matter, because they'll get the Avalanche Toss into the Skewer. A nice impale out on Dreamer, so he's going to go for the man fight. Rather, Natsumi's going to try and run, and does, but Januel will go down. Onto the tier 1 tower they go.
They should be able to line up this tower, double damage running Mikado to make short work of it. And your Paj.
Yep, nice focus fire with the Shackle. Let's take another easy kill on the Wind Ranger and immediately just backs off. Back into that mid lane to get the farm going again. They will lose that bottom tier 1 tower, but CTM, he's already got in the top tier 1 and mid lane. They've dropped the wall. They want play hard first on that line, and there's your back out into the Impaler Hyde, and that'll blow up both of them. That's what you love to see, the vacuum impale. And now it's into that tier 1 mid tower.
Yeah, and again, it doesn't take too long for this push to come out from your TA. There's a lot of physical damage coming through, and they managed to go into the Roche here as well. Like, Dreamo Cell and Hyde are straight into the Roche pit while mid happens. Neon can't be all over the place. They can't respond to all of these things at once. TM isn't even aware Roche is happening, so they can't scout it out. And this is just Boom working the map perfectly well. Mid's just going to naturally fall or get denied. They have Aegis up on Mikado to play with. And they're just building up slowly but surely. Mikado actually bypasses the Deso this time, has the blink, so he can jump in and start these fights for himself now.
I think that's perfectly fair. It doesn't seem like he needs the Deso damage yet. In fact, I can imagine him skipping it all together just for an MKB, because you are up against the Wind Ranger, who's going to cause a lot of issues with that Wind Run. So maybe you just skip it, you go for the MKB instead, and that'll kind of be even more damage on that TA as Hyde now is going to be chased down by CTM, but you've got Kescute there. Stroke of Fate still going to be proving to be a little bit too scary for the Broodmother. CTM looks more than happy to just keep farming up on that Brood. Like, he has almost 3k gold in the bank account right now. Just hasn't decided on what he wants to spend it on.
Dominating, I guess.
Nice easy pick off Makoto. Able to take it off the setup of Hyde. OB.Neon. Not really looking to move out and take any big team fights yet. Still happy with Natsumi just freely farming up. And speaking of Natsumi, he's almost got his BKB up now, so he is really having a great time.
Yeah, I love this. It just enables you to run in, RP, not worry about the follow-up control or the counter control. You just get your damage off. All you need for him and
Uh-oh, Yapaj, he's been caught again. The Spike Carapace into the power shot will do that. And now play hard. Gonna be chased, but Natsumi's in with a 3-man RP, but where's your follow-up? They lost play hard. Do they have enough without him? A nice impale out from Hyde to stop them in their tracks. They kill off Januel, and now Natsumi. He is surrounded by himself. CTM does not want to even join this team fight, as he knows exactly how it's gonna go. There's a nice RP, but I think they needed play hard to be alive to follow up with the Earth Spike, and that just did not happen.
they need to line up. It's like the vacuum from Boom. If you just vac without the impale, it falls flat. If you just RP without the Earth Spike and just your Tiny, you don't have enough burst with that. So it's starting to pile on for Boom now. 4k lead, 7-14. They're hitting these really nice strides. Mikado is rushing at MKB, as you mentioned. just so he can thwack Yapaj while the wind runs up. And you've already got the Fusel and Dreamo Cell, rushing the Sanj next for some more stat resist. Invading that jungle as well here.
He's going to be careful. I mean, you see Hyde, you can't land the shackles. Makoto's right behind him. With Kescutes, they definitely kind of want Yapaj to engage. We'll think better of it. He'll run the other way. You can see Hyde, he's being very cheeky in the way that he's trying to find the power shot angles so he can get the Spike Carapace off on Yapaj. And he might not even need it, because right now Yapaj is right next to him, but oh, he mistimed it. Unfortunate from Hyde, and now Yapaj will turn around with the shackles, but Makoto again is going to be there just in case he needs the help. Very unfortunate mistime down that Spike Carapace though. Let's play hard. Well, this is unfortunate. Bye-bye, play hard.
Ownage.
Can you all come in from the side with an invis rune, but he's going to need some help. In fact, they seem to have spotted him out there for a second. E2 under siege. Newell still sticking around. These are going to fly in now. There's your avalanche toss out to set up Dreamer Soul, though it's not going to be enough. He enrages and runs. The shackle will not land either, as now Makoto, even with the Aegis, just wants to get out of here. CTM going to go after Hyde. We'll just wait out the Spike Carapace and then go back in for a nice easy Nyx Assassin kill. But everybody else from Boom Esports appears to have gotten out. And I think if you're Hyde, you're more than happy with that. Just kind of tanking the gank there, allowing everyone else with more value to just leave the building.
It also forces the movement out from CTM to head back bot. So he shows up, he's not shoving in top lane anymore, he's not able to find that tier 2 tower. Their bot tier 2 is at less than half HP. That's good news for Boom. The next time they show up, they can probably just clear it out fully. They're still stalling out for Makoto to finish up this MKB first. And the Sanj is almost done for Dreamo Cell, so it's going to be hard to lock in that Ursa, especially when Rage goes off. Aegis does expire, so Makoto's a bit more exposed.
Spike Carapace from Hyde is going to be enough to set up onto the Tiny. That'll be Genuel's life gone. Hyde just being very effective already on this Nyx Assassin, and well, this is the second game in a row he's been able to really just set up for his team over and over again. And unfortunately for OB.Neon, he is going back into that Aghanim Scepter build-up. It's going to cause a lot of headaches. Dreamer Cell, that's a nice enrage. Very fast timing into the Diffusal Blade, and Yapaj is a bit of a sitting duck now. The Impel does land, and they will just burst him down. This could be another repeat of what happened in Game 1.
They're just dropping way too many big cores here on Neon's side. And the blessing is that Natsumi is still free farming, still keeping up with Mikoto's farm. And CTM as well has at least finished up the Guardian Greaves rush into the Sanj, but if they lose Yapaj too many times, it can get a bit shaky. And you also have a nice Impulse for Dreamer Cell that they drop in the front of the tier 2 tower. Creating items like that. Very confident showing from Boom, but start seeing maybe some RPs again flying out. Natsumi for his team. Difficult to do without a blink, but I think even just a 2-man is going to be enough to give you a big advantage in these engagements.
Hyde, gonna break the smoke. Natsumi, he needs a big RP if they really want to fight this one out. So they might just lose play hard straight off the bat, and now the wall is gonna land on Natsumi. He's gonna skewer back. RP is out. Do you have the follow-up damage though? It doesn't look like it. Dreamer, so he got the enrage off in time. Onto Yapaj they go. The Wind Ranger, he's gonna try and make a run for it, but there is no chance in hell he gets out. Play hard, he bought back to try and help, but it's going to amount to nothing, and Boom, even with that big RP, it's not enough to deal with this dire side. In fact, FBZ's having a look for more. They won't be able to find them, though.
You're having issues with Burst because FBZ already has his Hag. And so it's the Iron Shell with plus 300 HP, with the charges up. You need to jump the Darkseer first. I think that's really the target you need to take care of. That additional HP keeps everyone alive, makes it hard to take these fights. With RP down, it's also a bit wonky now for Neon to look for a fight. You're going to have to maybe play a bit more passively unless they find a good angle for a pick-off. And the issue here as well is that these two supports, the Lion and the Tiny, don't have blink daggers yet. Johnxfire way off from the blink timing, so is Playhard. You cannot play make with either of these cores or with these supports set up for your team. It's all riding on really Natsumi's RP and maybe a Paj with a Shackle. And it's just not reliable enough. You do need these supports to get a trickle of gold in. Until those blinks are up, Neon's going to have a hard time finding the right heroes in the backline to kill off.
Here we go, Hyde. Hyde shell up, Vendetta popped. He's barely going to miss out on the opportunity to catch out CTM.
Your life, much like your head.
OB.Neon. They're grouped up as if they're going to pop a smoke here, and they definitely could, but Sumi, he does have the RP back up in 15. In fact, make it 10. Still feels like he's lacking damage, though. And on top of that, you might just kind of want that blink initiation first to really catch them off by surprise. The thing is, if you smoke right now, you're going into that Makoto MKB we talked about earlier on. Obviously, Makoto, he wasn't lacking any damage, but now he has even more, so it's going to be a little bit scary if they go for the smoke up now.
Yeah, it's not the time for it. The Roche is up. Perhaps they could use that smoke to secure a Roche or find a pick-off for the Roche first. CTM.
Still trying to run. Mid lane, Ingswell on FBZ, but there's no way to initiate, and it looks like they do pick up the blink before the AC on Natsumi now. So they are valuing the prospect of being able to kind of initiate with that massive RP they require. It's kind of on the shoulders of Natsumi now, as CTM and Yopaj, they can't really initiate for the team at the moment. FBZ gonna show himself, skewer back, not gonna work out, and that's your blink reveal. You've lost that surprise element as toss up from Januel to try and make sure Natsumi remains safe, but a back wall's there from FBZ. They've got play hard in their grasp. Ingswell's out, Dreamersaw gonna run right in, CTM. He's gonna cop the stun of the Broodmother. He tried to fight it out and he's disconnected.
Oh, boy. Oh,
that is
no.
very unfortunate timing. I was wondering why he was running back into fight. This play hard was guaranteed to die, and well, there you go. There's your answer, John. Internet issues.
Yep, as is standard in Philippines. Unfortunately, even Yopaj having some issues here. Hopefully it gets sorted out. But Boom are looking good, and they finally remembered those voice lines. There you go, I was waiting for that. 9-20, 8k lead. There's not much CTM can really do here. Like, Guardian Greaves is nice. You're not at that all-encompassing point yet where the Broodmother just bullies people out. He's trying to rush to Heaven's Halberd. I believe his courier might actually have it flying in soon or is heading out to buy it. So you should be able to see that up relatively soon on CTM at the very least. But I don't know, even just with a Halberd, it doesn't feel like it's going to be enough by itself. Like, you still need a lot more here. You need so much more in your Paj. Like, Maelstrom is good damage. You might want the BKB and Blink.
CTM's giving them the go-ahead while Yopaj is still disconnected. Hyde lets him know about it. Like, come on, bro. He's your teammate. And now CTM's gone again. Well, as long as they sort it out, I guess CTM's reconnected now, realizing he's going to be dead anyway. He'll reconnect soon, but you may as well go make a coffee, CTM. Very unlikely he survives this.
No, it's not quite the angle he wants to be in. See, Natsumi could maybe go for a blink play turnaround, look for an RP. Could catch, I think, Dreamersaw and Kezcute look like a possibility there. So you could try that, I suppose.
He's got the blink RP up. It's a tough one, though. They are quite split on Boom. Like, you could really only RP one. Here we go. Do they let CTM just die? It looks like the answer's probably yes, unless CTM gets out himself, and he does. He just walks right out of there. Alright, no coffee for CTM. Back to work, sir.
Yeah, unfortunate for Boom, not quite having the closing power to get that done. And they also lose Hyde. Good finger coming out from Play Hard. That is his first finger kill, mind you, at 23 minutes in. So he's only got 1 stack, which doesn't feel great. It's really not the damage you're looking for. It's the potential with your level 15 talent. 70 HP per kill is massive. You hit 1.9k, 2k when you get that talent up. You suddenly feel really strong without having to buy anything. So you're missing out on some potential there for your line. And Playhard's actually just opting to go for the Atrial Lens, it looks like. Queuing it up instead of going for the Blink. Wanting to be able to buy these items individually. The Rosh is being started by Dreamosol, but the smoke was spotted by the ward. So Boom are able to kind of pull out in time.
Neon still want to fight. Smoke's going to be broken. Skewer back though. They got FBZ and the Shackles is there to lock him down. They'll be able to finish him off surely, and they do. A nice start to the team fighters. Now they're going to the backside to try and fight even more. Hyde, he's got the Aghanim Scepter up on the Nyx Assassin, but they'll toss the borrowed Nyx Assassin. It won't matter though, because Januel's going to go down, but Natsumi now, a 2-man RP. Shackles will not latch. Dreamosol with the enrage going to survive just fine. As Natsumi, he does not have the damage. Yopaj diffused up, Shackles won't land either. He'll try to wind run out of this. But they've got so many forms of slow on Boom, and look at the meld strike from a mile away. And they asked the question, John. That's the voice line that we want to hear from Boom. Is the Roshan. He's going to be started once again, and I guess CTM could do something cheeky with that Spiderling. Maybe get a deny off. He's going to try. He's rushing in, Avalanche is there, Makoto's got it, they snatch the Aegis away. Natsumi though, he's in, but a big spike carapace out from Hyde will stun him up. Natsumi trying to skewer away, he will not have enough damage for Makoto, the Spiders will. So they'll get the Aegis up. And you see the tip there from Dreamosol onto Januel as Januel, it's the second time he's tossed the borrowed Nyx Assassin. And the problem is, John, when you toss him into your team, he could just spike Carapace.
Yep. It's not the target you want to push into the middle of all your heroes. And Hyde just basically turned out fighting instead. They lose the Aegis immediately, so Boom don't really get to maximize that, but they take that resource away.
Oh no, power shot into the spike Carapace again, and Makoto with the MKB hit gets the job done. I tell you, you can't give Hyde this Nyx Assassin. He's just been playing way too well over this series and just continues to do so. As now FBZ, he's going to surge away. Into the mid-tier 2 tower they go, Boom Esports. There's not really much in the way of stopping them at the moment.
Yeah, they've got the lead. They've got all the tools on hand. They take the tier 2 mid, tier 2 bots gone. Only one tier 2 tower left for OB.Neon. They're growing limited in the parts of the map they control. CTM still dipping outside with the webs. Still trying to find farm. The halberd is up and running, so the disarm's ready to at least control up either the Ursa or TA. It's just not enough. You're not overtaking this game on the brood here for CTM, and Hyde keeping eyes.
Always. Get some bug burst bug action as Makoto, he gets the Spiderlings first, and now look at that big stack of Spiderlings just being side-bladed down. CTM still trying to run as Januel does come in, but now Dreamosol's here. They do get the finger off, but they've lost CTM in the process, and now Natsumi is trying to run. The RP's there, but it's just not enough. They'll just keep going. Boom Esports running down OB.Neon, and they can't fight back. No matter what they throw at Boom Esports, it's just not enough.
Bounty.
Yeah, it's just...
Oh, Yopaj. Shackles there in time. He's going to try with the focus fire. Avalanche out, but he knows he can't fight this, and Makoto is going to go have a look around, but Yopaj is going to TP away.
It's just really tough for OB.Neon. They need this RP to land. Their entire team fight's dependent on Natsumi finding the angle and grabbing multiple heroes, but Boom's just too far ahead to allow that. he needs to BKB go in, although
Nice toss back. They get this Hex out as well. Dreamercell, he has the cheese. Gets it off in time onto Genuel. They'll secure the kill. And he still has Enrage up if they want to try and go back in. And it looks like that appears to be the game plan, at least for Makoto. Dreamercell, he'll just go hit some neutrals and heal up before he does make his way back to the high ground. Shackle's just refusing to land for Yopaj. Now Vacuum into the Impel, they've got the control. They might have the Brood, but no, he'll survive. Tier 3 tower, however, will not. Boom, they're right out of there.
Just a nice, easy objective to take. They'd probably want to maybe force out the tier 2 top for anything else. They don't really have the security of an Aegis to fully commit. The RP's about half a minute off OB.Neon. They are smoked up to try to defend outside.
BZ, they've got a nice target on the Darks here, but there's the Impale. Now can they burst him down in time? They barely get him. Now the toss back into Hyde, but we've seen what happens with this. They should be able to get him, however, as nobody's sticking around to help him out. So Boom lose 2. And that's something it feels like Boom Esports has to be very careful about, is not throwing away their advantage. They are still 12k ahead, but they lose one bad team fight, and this game could turn the other way immediately.
Yeah, OB.Neon's got a lot of potential to bounce back in. It's still a Magnus with RP that will go through BKB every single time, and Natsumi's slowly but surely building up. Has the Crystallis up, going for the Daedalus next into the AC, typical pause 1 Magnus build. But once you hit at least a Daedalus, one lucky crit in the middle of an RP with Empower on, these heroes melt. That cleave damage is no joke. Boom's gonna have to respect the mag here just more. Desolator up is up on Mikato, so more minus armor in hand, more burst potential on his physical damage would be nice. They do have to drop that mid tier 1, so maybe they could look for an opportunity to fight back. They will need the Nyx back up. Natsumi go blind with the skewer, just doesn't really find anything.
At least they get a DD rune. Yopaj has something bottled up to use later on, but he's so far behind in net worth that it feels like that DD rune's just going to kind of make him an equal hero to the side of Boom. It's now Boom, smoke up behind Dreamercell. The triangle they want to go. Hyde is moving with the Spike Carapace. CTM gonna just web up to the high ground. Be dangerous kind of predicament here for both sides, but Hyde can just burrow and stay there. The toss back attempt again is gonna cost him. They've got him. In fact, they found another play hard. It's gonna drop and it's onto Natsumi. No lucky bashes, however, for Dreamercell. In fact, CTM causing a lot of lag once again, is going to lose all his spinelings and is going to die, but there's the RP out. They've got Makoto, the Horn Toss is there, they'll get the TA down into the Darkseer FBZ, he will drop to Boon. 2 massive pickoffs as Natsumi. It's gone the other way, but it looks like Boom might have to just stop fighting altogether. They will let Dreamercell run, Hyde, he'll stay behind. It's the side of Neon up against the piece of dirt. They'll get it eventually. Meanwhile, Yopaj ends up dying to Dreamercell.
Yeah, it would have been really clean if they found those 4 kills without dropping hero. But this kind of gives Boom a little bit of leeway. Dreamercell finally kill. He's having some issues with a Wind Ranger. When the wind runs up, he doesn't get hits, so he needs an MKB. It looks like he's rushing the Abyssal instead, but the Pharma Natsumi's built up. Daedalus is up. We've seen the damage output from the RP with his Empower Cleave. Now he's got the chance to crit for big numbers. And that's what gets a bit scary for Boom. They get slightly overconfident. They're punished for it. Their lead still stands at 11k. They will have to find safer approaches to these fights. OB.Neon have managed to get some nice item spikes now as well. Blink up on Play Hard means that our Lion can set up for them on top of Johnny Well, of course, already having his Blink. They've got ways of jumping into that backline, taking care of the Nyx first, and Boom just have to be much more cautious.
Oh, CTM. He's been caught. They should have the control. CTM, he'll try to web his way out of this one, but the bashes are in still. Januel just jump in to help out. They've got the Brood Mama out of there. It's now Dreamer Cell. He's going to rush him with a smoke. CTM, he does not get bashed. No lucky bashes for Dreamer Cell this game thus far, I'll tell you. It's Januel. No bash.
Oh, what? Really?
Excuse me? 25% chance. He hit 4 times. He did not bash once. Onto the Magnus they go. Natsumi's going to be alright. How does that work, John? 25% chance. Does that not mean 1 out of 4?
Yeah, I know.
OB.Neon?
I'm not good at statistics.
Smoked up around the Roshan pit. A bit of a ringer Rosie. FBZ hide. Gonna hang around in that Roshan. Out of vision. Natsumi, oh, he gets the horn toss off. And he has found a big target, but the Impale might just save the day. In fact, never mind, they toss him back up again. Dreamer Cell's gone. RP yard onto Makoto, but the buyback is there from the Ursa. They want to try and force this fight as play hard. Does die. Januel, CTM, Natsumi, all just trying to run as the big angry bear is back. But they shackle him up to a tree. Makoto, he'll try to get the job done himself, but Januel is still running. Looks like he is going to make it. So the buyback of Dreamer Cell doesn't really lead to much. But Roshan is up. So they could try to rush the Roshan. Only problem is they aren't aware. Makoto, he does end up fighting Januel in the end. He really chased quite far for that.
It's not the biggest kill, 2 supports down, but those are 2 Blink supports. And there's no RP on Natsumi for another 80 seconds, so it's a big opportunity to take that Rosh. Refresh shard on the deck. I'm not sure if that's what you would have preferred over, say, an Ags here. It's still going to be really useful. Perhaps just get the double vac wall on FBZ. That's going to be really big for him. And it is going to be up and running. So the next team fight's going to be something that Neon has to be careful around, especially if that combination is pulled off. Double vac, double wall. It's pretty darn painful. With all the damage spreading around as well, it's going to be hard to really find an angle there for the defense. Top tier 2 is going to be pressured. You do have progression here for CTM. He's got the E-Blade up. And Paj is trying to shove in that bot tier 1 in exchange. Blade being, again, another way of getting a soft disarm off. Or at least protecting yourself as well from the physical output of the Ursa and the TA. Just
Killing spree.
It will pay for itself.
Yo, Paj gets solo killed by Makoto again. Makoto just apparently TPs down and gets the kill. Boom Esports, they're still hanging around. Try and set up for this high ground, but without your TA there, I'm not sure if they really want to try and force this. Makoto, in the meantime, he's just going to push out all the other lanes and make sure there's no funny business happening. In fact, they are going in. Dreamer Cell, he swells up, gets a nice 2-man stun. RP is there, but it's only onto Hyde. Maybe they get rid of the Nyx. Maybe that'll make the team fight easier.
Was it worth your life to try for my...
Yo, Paj, he's going to buy back. They've got the Wind Ranger buyback. Hyde will also buy back himself. Looks like Boom Esports, they're going to try and force this team fight. And the thing is, you know the RP's down as well.
Yeah, and if you kill your Paj here, that could be it. No Wind Ranger, no control. It's all going to be down to Natsumi and CTM, and it's a lot harder playing 3 versus 2 in terms of cores.
Natsumi, skewer back onto the Nyx Assassin. They shackle him up. Januel going to try and buy time, but that Nyx Assassin is way too tanky. Onto Natsumi. He can't do much anyway, but he is going to drop. He'll buy back immediately as CTM will back out on the Broodmother. Boom, they force a secondary buyback, and it looks like that may just be enough. Still got the Aegis on Dreamer Cell, but he wants to go for a bit of a reset on the Ursa. Like, they do smoke up. He's got the Abyssal Blade there too now, and there is officially no buyback on the map available. There's never been a better time for Boom to try and make that high ground attempt again.
Yeah, if they find that win here while RP's down, that could be it. Just need to really be patient.
Hortos, skewer back, is there onto the Ursa. This should be the Aegis going down, and it is. Vacuum not going to help the cause. Rage is going to be there. Dreamer Soul just looking for a way out, and that'll be enough for Boom, it looks like, but not for OB.Neon, who want to keep going. They found Hyde with the toss back and the finger. Hyde trying to get the burrow off in time, but was not able to find it, and now CTM will go for a bit of a chase. Kescute, Shackle, not going to land in time. Rest of Boom Esports just going to run, not willing to overextend here up against OB.Neon. Still run away with the 14k net worth lead.
Yeah, and you're seeing the caution coming through from Boom. After losing a couple of fights that it felt like they shouldn't, tempering back that aggression just a bit more. You are still seeing, Dream Assault.
Gets play hard. He has the shards up, so he definitely feels safe to be able to jump in and just snipe a support like that. He's knowing he has the Enrage on such a low cooldown. Boom aren't really going to be able to capitalize off this, I don't think. Just going back to farm up those tier 4 items first before they really get moving again. So I say that, Makoto sees Yafaj, wants to go for the kill. Natsumi, he's off the mark. He tried to RP Makoto, but he was out of range. Januel's going to jump in, but I'm not sure what for. Maybe just trying to salvage the situation. He's going to be able to TP out in the end, but you've got Yafaj without a buyback, and Dreamer Cell might be able to find Natsumi. Blink Dagger was on cooldown. Still, Boom Esports definitely going to try to go up to the high ground again and secure that top lane of Rax if they can.
It's not going to take too long. No buyback in Yopaj. So, towers, the objectives are just exposed. A lot is relying on Natsumi to get another Horn Toss, skewer back. And that's what...
Toss. They've got Dreamer Cell, but he's got an Ink Sweller. Onto the Lion. They'll get play hard dead. He does have a buyback and will commit it immediately. But this top lane of Rax definitely not going to survive through the onslaught of Makoto. The only question is now, do they want to keep going while Yopaj is down?
Neon has no choice. They've got to defend. I think Boom will want to push, and they are going for the mid set of Rax. Melts really fast from the damage Makoto has. I think they realize what they have to do. Dream Assault just needs to stand back. If he's not skewered forward, there's no pressure on him, and they can just hit from a mile away with Makoto anyway. So 2 sets of Rax is down.
Toss back. Oh, they try to go for the skewer plane to the fountain, but he had the Minotaur Horn on Dreamer Cell. That saves his life. Now Genuel does die. He's going to buy back, but they are getting megaed as we speak. Yopaj, 12 seconds away from respawning, but it doesn't look like it's going to be enough. RP about 20 seconds away. They'll try again. They'll get the skewer back this time, but the Enrage going to make sure Dreamer Cell basically takes no damage, and Genuel is going to buy it back. As now OB.Neon, they're running out of options. Yopaj is going to start a fight, but Makoto looks to blow him up. Doesn't quite get enough damage. It may not matter. There's your Megas. See if OB.Neon can defend this 4v5. It's looking rough. DTM. Need a little bit of poke there to Hyde. Dagon's coming up from CTM. He's got the Ethereal Blade as well. Shackles is there. RP has been thrown. They've got Makoto, but the Abyssal Blade on from Dreamer Cell. Natsumi, he's trying his best to fight this one out, but there goes Yopaj. There goes Play Hard. They'll call the GG. Natsumi also goes down. And Boom Esports able to pull off a 2-0 victory here in this upper bracket. They will be able to proceed through to the upper bracket finals. OB.Neon, unfortunately for them, will go down to the lower bracket, but they aren't out of it yet.
Yep, they've got a second chance there. OB.Neon this time, you know, it looked like they were really confident in their brood, just constantly first phase picking it for CTM, and Boom was just prepared every single time. Game 1 is a bit rocky, Game 2 a lot smoother in terms of just maintaining that lead for such a long time. They allow Hyde to get his Nyx assassin every single time, and just works out superbly well. So they just they just found everything they needed to, and I think Neon, the last pick in Ranger for Yopaj, it's one of those things, right? If it doesn't work out, it falls really flat, and the matchup against Mikado's TA just didn't feel great. This was not the usual kind of popping off you see from Yopaj. Natsumi as well on the safe lane mag. He didn't have enough synergy with anyone else, so he'd empower himself. All the damage would be focused on him. He'd RP and he'd be the only one doing damage. Like at some point, Avalanche Toss doesn't do as much. Earth Spike isn't that amazing as well, and he didn't really focus on empowering CTM too often. CTM's just scurrying around too much, so they didn't have a lineup that worked together all too well, and I think that's what caused some issues for them. But we could talk to our winner. I do believe we've got an interview lined up. I'm not sure who it is. It is Pervian. I'm trying to call it. Is that FBZ?
Yeah, I think it is FBZ. We'll bring him in. We'll have a chat with him. We'll see who it is, but I'm pretty sure it might be FBZ. Hello, sir. Can you hear us?
Hello? Yes, I can.
Hello, hello. Congratulations on your victory. I'm sorry to be so rude, but are we speaking to FBZ?
No, I'm Triple Cell, you fool.
There you go. It's Dreamercell. It's John's fault, Dreamercell. He didn't remember who Furbian was. I apologize for John's mistakes.
It's fine.
I'm sorry.
But congratulations on your victory. You must be feeling very good after that 2-0. Were you quite confident going into that matchup up against OB.Neon today?
Yeah, pretty confident. Just play.
Very good to hear. I've got to ask you before John does, because this was a bit of a funny moment for us. But game 2, the mid lane, 0-minute mark, you went into the mid lane and planted a flag, and there was a bit of a mess that happened because of it. What was the game plan, Dreamer? So what were you thinking?
There's a funny story to it. I'm the one who said that, hey, they have a plan to toss mid and then skewer, right? And then someone from my team like, oh yeah, nice thinking. and then I forgot I said that, and then I just put the flag. Oh shit, sorry guys. Shit happened.
Oh god.
Oh, well, at least you had the right idea. I mean, it's good to hear that your brain was in the right place at the time. At least you knew what was going to happen. That's good. Go on, John.
Yeah. How do you guys feel? Going in, obviously, group stage, you guys drew 1-1 against OB.Neon, and there's the entire thing with upper div, the tiebreakers, that entire decisive factor. Were you guys going into this really motivated? Do you guys, a bit of a revenge match for you guys, or was it just another match to play?
I think we never think of this as a revenge match. It doesn't, even if we win this one, the series against the Neon, it doesn't make us going back to the upper division, right? Yeah, so I think it's because we all fresh to play some dots and have the motivation to win. I think that's what matters the most.
That's great to hear. That definitely is. It's all about the team spirit. I'm curious. So you guys are in the upper bracket finals. You guys are facing up against Motivate Trust. How are you feeling about your chances against MG Trust? They've looked really good the past season. You guys think you're ready to knock them down at last and force them to go through lower bracket finals?
I think we have the chance to win, because I think mostly our team are just focusing on focusing on ourselves instead of the other team. Like, because we're not good ourselves either. So.
Oh, don't say that. Of course, you guys are great. You guys look fantastic today, but you do have the right attitude. Yeah, I do agree with where you're coming from, Dreamer. So I think that is the right attitude going into it. With that, do you have any words for the fans out there before I let you go, sir?
Thanks for keeping us, keep watching us. Maybe we can win the next series, and thanks for all the fans who's supporting us, keep supporting us in ups and low.
There you go.
That is all.
Thank you for that, Dreamer Soul. Congratulations on the victory, and I wish you the best of luck in your next series, sir.
Thank you.
Very much.
Yep,
The
I'm out.
See ya. That was the lovely Dreamer. So John, how could we get the players mixed up like that? How could we not remember who Fervian was?
It's been so long since he's used that handle.
How
I think it
embarrassing.
just slipped my mind. I think
How
it's been like 2
embarrassing.
years since I saw him go by that, so I just mixed it up. I'm sorry, I don't have a great memory. I'm sorry, I'm Filipino. I don't have a great memory. I
It's not
forget
just-
what time to wake up and show up, you know.
It's not just your fault, John. I mean, I did blame it on you, but obviously we both kind of forgot who
It's a
Fervian
mutual
was. It
forgetfulness.
was a mutual
Yeah.
thing, but I did blame it on you. I apologize for that. Regardless,
it
though,
happens.
John, that is it for the games today. Before we do go, of course, we have to give some lovely shout-outs to our sponsors. Of course, shout-out to LootBet, who are sponsoring the Pro Series as a whole. If you are an SEA, new users can get a 100% bonus on their first deposit up to 9,000 pesos. Use code PRO on LootBet. Existing users can also find more promotions if they visit the LootBet website. So do go ahead and check it out. And John, do you have anything to say about our other lovely sponsor?
Of course, our other sponsor is MLPDotA, a natural energy drink, and it is caffeine reimagined. Try MLPDotA today and get more day, more night. MLPDotA is available at all 7-Elevens throughout Asia, or click on the banner below and head over to the website and place your order. And we've got a giveaway for 2 cases of MLPDotA each winner. So join in that giveaway. It will run 10 minutes past this point. In chat, just type !MLPDotA for a chance to win 2 cases each. Make sure your whispers are open, and all the countries in Asia and Oceania are valid. So it's those rare giveaways that we actually get to have. Make sure to join in those drinks. Apparently, Mike has tried them. I've yet to try them, unfortunately, but
I just
they sound
received them.
great.
I already had 2 of them, John. I'm a little bit addicted, so thank you very much. They did send me a full case of it. Just fantastic, because I was looking for something to wake me up in the morning, so there you go. But do check your whispers, because the mods in the chat, they are messaging people that have been winning. In fact, earlier on, we did have some winners already, so hopefully they enjoy their case of some mate as it does come in. And shout out to them as well. Again, I do really enjoy the drink. Apart from that, though, however, John, that is it for tonight. For all the viewers that stuck around, thank you very much. We do appreciate all the support. And for the people that are just here for the Animajor, thanks for coming. And hopefully, some good games on tonight. There was last night, and I look forward to seeing some SEA Dota throughout the Animajor. I believe Execration's playing up against Nigma today, so that's the one I'm looking forward to, John. I've got to be a bit biased throughout my viewing experience and, go for the SEA boys.
Yeah, for sure. I think they've been doing well, and hopefully all of you enjoy. Don't get too angry at the weebs. Let them have their moment. But that's it for me and Mike. Join the giveaway, and we'll see you next time.
I'll see you then.